Hi yo, thank you and welcome to my channel once again. This is the fourth installment of our project. So if you remember, we are trying to work with a list using Python to build a small project, the project that someone could use to record some items. So, and in case you haven't watched the previous videos before this one, so if you go back there, or if you are able to go back, you are going to see what we've already built and how it works. So without wasting a lot of time, I'm going to proceed to build additional functions. Um, to the project in order to allow us to do a couple of other things. So in this case, what I intend to do now is because currently we already have a function to record item. We have a function to display the items we've got in the system. So I'm about to do now is to build another function which can be used to delete an item from the list. So let's continue. So to do this, I'm going to call a function. Let me call it delete item. That would be our function here. So to delete the item, um, let's first of all create a variable here. Let's name it probably let's name it item. We'll call it item, and we allow the user to enter something. For instance, let's say int and then input. No, let's say int and input type an item to delete. Type an item to delete, and okay. So let us first of all check that the item that the person is trying to delete exists in the system. Remember that we have our dictionary declared here on the top. We call it items. So what I intend to do now is to first of all check if the what the person is trying to delete exists in the system or not. If it is there, of course it deletes. If it's not there, something should happen. So in order to do this, let's first of all check if item, that is if the item the user typed in, oh, you know what? Wait, let me first of all type this and then I'm going to discuss what I just did. Item is greater than length of items. So what I just did here is this. When the user types in an item, so we first of all compare to make sure that the item that the person typed in, first of all, that it's in between 1 and the quantity, the length of the item we have in our dictionary. This is very important. Otherwise, this is going to throw an error if the person types in something that is out of scope, something that is out of the amount. So we're using this len method to check that, to make sure, or to count the amount of items we have in the system. So that item has to be and the between 1 and the amount of items that we have on the system. So that is why we are checking this. So if this is not the case, that is if someone types something, maybe something that is negative or something that is out above the amount of item we have in the list, so it's going to print out something, maybe invalid item, invalid item. entered or something like that. So it tells that person that the item they entered is invalid. Else, if everything is fine, that is if the item that the user typed in is between the actual quantity of what it got in the system. So what will happen is that we are going to, first of all, I would like to create a variable here, and then let us now call the dictionary. We go into the dictionary and then we use this method pop, or we use it to pop out what it's used to delete something out of the system, to delete something out of the system. So once you use it, and then we put in the item that the person typed in, because this is what is going to be deleted, right? So we put it in, and then we print a message. That's why I created this variable called X, because I would like to show the user once something is deleted, to show the user what was deleted, so, or what they typed in that got deleted. So in that case, let us print something, and for instance, we could say X, where is it? X, let me make some space. Wait, it's has been deleted, and that's it. So this function is really very simple. It's a very simple function, very straightforward. So again, we ask the person to type in what they intend to delete. Once they type it in, we compare what they, let's say the person types in 1 or 2 or whatever. So we compare to make sure that the value is between 1 and the amount, whatever the amount is in the in the list. If it is outside of the this amount, so it throws this error. If not, so we pop it out and then delete it. So that's what this does. So the next thing we're going to do now is to check our. We are going to call the function. We are going to call the function from the main function. So this function is called. So it's that would be the the third, isn't it? Or the fourth. That would be the fourth function. So what we do here is let's call it delete item. Delete item, and that's it. Once we have delete item, we save it, and then we are going to test and see that what we have built works the way it should. So let us try that. First of all, for anyone who hasn't watched the first, second, and third videos, so I think it will be helpful if you watch it, and so that you can it will be easier for you to understand what we are doing. So once again, what we just did here is in fact, it's better to watch that video so that I don't waste time explaining everything all over again here. So what we just need to do is to test this video and see what's going to happen, or rather to test our application to see how it goes. So the application is called, wait a moment, again. Okay, it's called a lesson. So lesson, let's call it. Okay, so this is our interface. This is our interface. So what we do now is first of all, let's see if we have anything on our list. There is nothing there. It is empty. So what we do now is let us add a couple of items. So let's choose number 1. We add items. So what could we add? Let us add, let's say, television, and then the brand, maybe Philips, and then the quantity, let's say 23, And then the price, let's say, I don't know, 200, whatever. Let's just do it that way. So it asks if we need to add more additional item. Let's say yes. And now let us add mobile phones, and then the brand, or what could the brand be? Let's say Apple once again. And then what quantity? Let's say 22. And then the price, let's say 500. And then do you want to add something else? Like yes, say yes. And then what could this one be? Let's say it's say laptop, and then brand Samsung, and then the quantity 90, the price 450. Okay, do you want to add something else? Yes, say no this time around. Yes, let's say no. Okay, so now it's asking us to choose an option. So the option we've got, let's choose option 2 in order to view what we've got now. We have 3 items here. We have the television, we have mobile phones, we have laptops, and then what action again do we want to perform? Let's choose option number 3, which is to delete an item, which is related to the function we just built now. So let's choose number 3. Then it's asking type an item to delete. Let's type item 1. It says this item has been deleted. Mobile phone, blah blah blah, has been deleted. And then let us check again the what other option do we want to check? Okay, let's choose option 2 again to display the items we've got. You see, now we've got only 2 items remaining. We have now television and laptop. So I think this will be it. You know, this will be it for now. So in the next video, what I'm going to do again, because another thing I intend to do is for us to be able to record these items to some kind of file on the system so that we don't have to keep on re-entering files or items each time the application, maybe something happens to the application. Maybe if you close the application, then you need to re-add items again. So in order for us to save it and not to do that, keep on doing that, repeating it. So we are going to work with files in order to save it as a database on our system for easier retrieval. So that's what we are going to do next. Another important thing to mention here is that usually there should be in a real world application, as you can imagine, there are so many ways that this very delete function could be written. For example, there should be a way to verify to make sure that you can imagine, like, if somebody, instead of typing 1 or 2 or something, just types letter A or types like some sentence, for example, in the prompt, what would happen? If somebody tries that here, this application is going to crash. So what we are going to also do, most probably as time goes on, is to use different methods to be able to make sure that the application doesn't crash if somebody types in or mistakenly types in what they shouldn't have typed in. That is very important. But the reason I just made it to be this simple is, again, this is just a very simple application, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please, can I ask you to subscribe to my video, to comment, and I will come back with additional functions that we can use in this application. So thank you so much, and talk to you in the next video.